The morning sun was rising slowly through the thin clouds. A young man named Adam stood by his window, staring outside, lost in thought. He felt like life was slipping away, day after day, doing the same routine, the same scrolling, the same waiting for tomorrow. That morning, Adam decided to listen to something new, a voice that could change his direction. He turned on his phone and a calm but powerful voice began to speak. Welcome, everyone. Today I want you to stop whatever you're doing. Take a deep breath. Think about your life. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. The words hit Adam like a spark in his heart. The voice continued. You see, most people are alive, but they're not really living. They breathe, they eat, they sleep, but they never wake up inside. They wait for a miracle, for motivation, for a better day, but that day never comes unless you make it come. Adam sat down. His heart was beating faster. The speaker's voice was firm, yet full of warmth. Life is short, the voice said. You have one shot. Every second you waste is a piece of your life you'll never get back. Adam whispered to himself, That's true. I waste so much time. The voice went on. Some people wait for the perfect moment. Some wait for someone to push them. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment, and no one is coming to save you. You must be the one to save yourself. He looked around his small room, the messy desk, the unmade bed, the unfinished plans on sticky notes. It was all a mirror of his thoughts. So let's begin, the voice said again. Let's learn how not to waste this one precious life you've been given. Adam closed his eyes and smiled slightly. This wasn't just another video. It felt like a call to wake up to life. That night, Adam couldn't sleep. The words from the video kept echoing in his mind. No one is coming to save you. He tossed and turned, staring at the ceiling. He thought about the last few years of his life, how many plans he had started but never finished, the online courses he left halfway, the books he never opened again, the dreams he had written once in his old notebook and then forgotten. He whispered, Why do I always stop halfway? The next morning, he stood in front of his mirror. His reflection looked tired, dull, and full of excuses. What happened to you, Adam? He said softly to himself. You used to dream so big, and now you just scroll, eat, sleep, repeat. He remembered how, when he was younger, he wanted to travel, to learn, to build something that mattered. But life, or maybe fear, had slowly buried those dreams. Later that day, Adam went out for a walk. The air was cool and the streets were quiet. He passed by a small cafe, where two friends were talking loudly. One of them said, Bro, nothing changes unless you do something. Adam stopped. The same message again, from a stranger this time. He smiled slightly and thought, maybe the world is trying to tell me something. When he returned home, he sat at his desk, opened a notebook, and wrote at the top of the page, No more excuses. Then he began to write, I will wake up early. I will study something new every day. I will stop wasting time on useless things. I will believe in myself again. He looked at those words for a long moment. They weren't perfect, but they were real. Suddenly, he felt something different inside, not motivation, but responsibility. This is my life, he said aloud, and I'm done wasting it. That night, for the first time in a long time, Adam slept peacefully, not because his problems were gone, but because he had finally decided to face them. Morning sunlight streamed through the window, waking Adam earlier than usual. For the first time in months, he didn't hit the snooze button. He just sat up and looked around his small room, messy desk, unmade bed, half-empty coffee cups. It felt like his whole life had been paused here, waiting for him to wake up. He whispered, Today is the first day I take myself seriously. He cleaned his desk, threw away old papers, and even opened the curtains wide. The fresh air touched his face. It felt like freedom. After breakfast, he sat down with his notebook again. He opened a blank page and wrote in capital letters, Plan for a better life. Underneath, he wrote 3 goals. Improve my English, get fit and healthy, build something meaningful. It looked simple, but it felt powerful. For once, his goals weren't just wishes, they were promises. That day, he started small. He found a free English lesson on YouTube and began to listen. At first, he could barely understand half the words, but instead of getting frustrated, he smiled. "It's okay," he said. "I'm learning. This is what growth feels like." Every day after work, Adam spent 1 hour studying English. He wrote new words in a small notebook, practiced pronunciation, and watched motivational videos with subtitles. It wasn't easy. Sometimes he felt tired. Sometimes he wanted to quit. But every time that thought came, he looked at the words on his wall. No more excuses. One evening, while studying in the park, he met a young woman sitting on a nearby bench, reading a book titled Learning English Through Stories. She smiled at him and said, "You're studying too?" Adam nodded. "Yeah, try to improve my English. It's been tough." She laughed softly. "I know that feeling. I used to struggle too. But once you start enjoying the process, everything changes." Her name was Sarah, and she told him how she had learned English by reading short stories every day, even when she didn't understand every word. She said, "You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent." Those words stayed with him. That night, Adam searched online for English storybooks and found one called The Little Steps. He started reading it before bed. It took him almost 40 minutes to finish one short chapter, but he did it. When he finished, he felt something he hadn't felt in years: pride. Weeks passed. Adam built a small routine. Wake up early, exercise, study, work, read, sleep. Nothing dramatic, but it was progress. He even started writing a small journal in English. "Today I woke up early. I listened to a motivational podcast. I learned 5 new words. I am improving." His English began to sound more natural. His pronunciation got better. He noticed that he was no longer afraid of learning. He had fallen in love with it. One day, his old friend Daniel called him. "Hey, man," Daniel said, "where have you been? You disappeared." Adam laughed. "I've been busy fixing my life." Daniel joked. "Fixing your life? You sound like one of those motivational speakers now." Adam smiled. "Maybe, but it feels good to finally be serious about something." They met a few days later at a cafe. Daniel noticed a change. Adam's energy, his confidence, his eyes that no longer looked tired. "Wow," Daniel said. "You look different, happier." Adam nodded. "Because I stopped wasting my life." That night, after coming home, Adam stood before his mirror again. The same mirror where a month ago he had faced his tired reflection. But now, he didn't see a man full of excuses. He saw someone becoming stronger, someone who had begun to believe in himself again. He looked at his reflection and whispered, "You did it. You started." Then, for the first time in a long time, he smiled, not because everything was perfect, but because he knew the journey had finally begun. Months passed, and Adam's routine became stronger, almost sacred. Every morning, he woke up before sunrise, tied his shoes, and went for a jog. The streets were quiet, the air cold, and the world still half asleep. He loved that time. It felt like he was running not just through the city, but through his old fears. He listened to English podcasts while jogging. At first, the voices felt too fast, the words too complex. But slowly, something changed. He began to catch phrases, understand meanings, even laugh at jokes. He smiled while running. "I'm finally getting it," he whispered to himself. After his jog, he would make coffee, open his notebook, and review what he'd learned the day before. He no longer studied out of guilt. He studied with excitement, as if each new word was a key unlocking a new door. But success never comes without tests. After 6 months of steady progress, Adam faced a tough week. His company suddenly announced layoffs. People were scared, whispering in corners. Adam was one of the few chosen to stay, but the pressure doubled. He had to work late every day, sometimes until midnight. By the time he got home, his body ached and his mind screamed for rest. His English lessons, his reading, everything started to fade. One night, he threw his notebook on the table and sighed deeply. "What's the point? I'm exhausted. Maybe I can't do this after all." He turned off the light and sat alone in the dark. The same doubts he once defeated came back, whispering that he wasn't smart enough, that success wasn't for him. Then he remembered something Sarah had once said. You don't have to be perfect, Adam. You just have to show up, even when it's hard. Those words echoed in his head. He stood up, turned the light back on, and opened his notebook again. He didn't study for an hour that night, just 10 minutes. But he showed up. The next morning, Adam made a small change. He started waking up 30 minutes earlier, before work began to drain him. He realized that his mornings were his best weapon. He made a rule. No matter how tired I am, I'll learn something before the day starts. And he did. Every morning, he wrote one short paragraph in English about his life. Simple sentences like, today I feel tired, but I am still learning. One day, I will be fluent in English and tell my story to others. Those sentences became his armor against doubt. One Saturday, Adam went to a community library. He had seen a poster there weeks earlier. Join our English conversation group. All levels welcome. He hesitated at first. What if they laugh at my accent? What if I can't speak well? But then he remembered his promise. No more excuses. So he joined. The group had people from all backgrounds. Students, workers, travelers, all trying to improve their English. The first few minutes were terrifying. When it was his turn to speak, his voice trembled. My name is Adam. I am learning English for self-improvement. Everyone clapped. The teacher smiled and said, Excellent, Adam. Confidence will come with practice. That moment changed everything. After the class, he talked with others. Slowly, carefully, but with courage. He realized everyone made mistakes and nobody cared. What mattered was trying. Weeks later, the teacher asked him to share his progress story with the group. Adam stood up, holding his small notebook in his hand, and began. When I started, I couldn't even say a sentence. I used to think learning English was impossible for someone like me. But I learned something. It's not about being smart. It's about being consistent. The room went silent. Everyone listened carefully. There were days I wanted to give up, he continued. But I didn't, because one sentence a day is better than zero. And now, here I am, speaking to all of you. The class applauded. Some even had tears in their eyes. That night, Adam walked home under city lights, smiling. He felt lighter, like the world had opened its arms for him. When he reached home, he made tea, sat near the window, and reflected on his journey. He whispered to himself, this is what growth feels like. Slow, painful, but beautiful. He took out his journal and wrote, I didn't just learn English. I learned patience, confidence, and self-belief. I learned that discipline is stronger than motivation. Then he wrote one last line before going to bed. Tomorrow I'll continue. And he did, every single day after that. Even when it was raining, even when he was tired, even when nobody clapped anymore, he kept learning one word at a time. Time passed. 1 year since the day Adam promised himself. No more excuses. He looked back and couldn't believe how far he had come. His English wasn't perfect, but it was clear, confident, alive. The man who once avoided people now spoke freely, even helping others who were just beginning. But success never feels sudden. It grows quietly like morning light, a morning of change. One bright morning, Adam sat in a small cafe near the park. His old, worn notebook lay open beside his coffee. The same notebook that had carried his struggles, doubts, and tiny victories. He smiled as he read the first page. Crooked handwriting, broken sentences. I want to learn English. I am not sure if I can, but I will try. He traced those words with his finger, remembering the night he wrote them. Tired, hopeless, unsure. And now here he was, reading English novels, listening to podcasts, even writing short motivational stories online. As he sipped his coffee, a familiar voice called from behind. Hey, teacher. It was Sarah, the same woman from the park, the one who had encouraged him months ago. She laughed as she sat down. Wow, look at you. You actually did it. Adam smiled modestly. Not done yet. Still learning. She nodded. We never really stop learning, do we? They talked for an hour about language, life, and how change begins with one small decision. Before leaving, Sarah said something that stayed in his heart. You change your life because you believed you could. Most people never even try. Adam watched her leave, feeling a quiet pride. For the first time, he truly understood it was never about English only. It was about who he had become in the process, helping others. Weeks later, Adam joined a local online group where beginners practice English through storytelling. He volunteered to help. The first day, he logged in nervously, remembering his own shaky start. A young boy named Ollie spoke first. His voice trembled, his accent heavy. "Hello, my English not good. I want to learn." Adam smiled warmly. "You're already learning, Ollie. Just keep talking. Mistakes are good. They mean you're trying." As the weeks passed, Adam became a mentor. He shared his old struggles openly, how he once couldn't understand anything, how fear nearly stopped him, and how small, consistent steps had changed everything. The group grew. People from all over the world joined, learning through real stories, sharing their journeys. Adam felt alive again, as if all his effort had found a purpose, an invitation. One day, Adam received an unexpected email. It was from a language school in another city. The message read, "Dear Mr. Adam, we've seen your online work and motivational English stories. Would you consider giving a short talk at our student event about your journey of learning English?" Adam stared at the screen in disbelief. Him? Speaking at a language school? A year ago, he could barely say a full sentence without fear. He almost laughed. "This can't be real," he whispered. But it was. He accepted the invitation, the speech. On the day of the event, Adam wore his best shirt and stood behind the stage, heart pounding. He looked at the crowd, dozens of students, teachers, people with notebooks and curious eyes. He took a deep breath and began. "A year ago, I couldn't speak like this. I was shy, afraid, and tired of failing. I thought English was too hard. But what I learned is this: success doesn't come from talent. It comes from patience." He paused. The room was silent. Every day, I learned one new thing. Sometimes a word, sometimes a sentence, sometimes nothing at all. But I never stopped, even when it felt pointless. He smiled softly. "If you feel like giving up, remember, progress is invisible until one day it isn't. One day, you'll look back and realize you've changed." When he finished, the audience stood and clapped. Some shouted, "Thank you." Others took notes. But what mattered most to Adam was a quiet boy in the front row who reminded him of himself. Sitting shyly, eyes full of fear and hope, Adam walked up to him after the talk and said gently, "You can do this. I know because I was you." Reflection. That night, Adam returned home and stood by his window. The city lights flickered and the cool air brushed against his face. He opened his journal, a new one now, cleaner, more confident handwriting. He wrote, "I learned that the hardest part change is starting. I learned that failure is just a sign you're moving. And I learned that English wasn't just a language. It was a bridge to becoming who I wanted to be." He closed the notebook and smiled. On his wall hung a small note, the same words he had written a year ago. No more excuses. He whispered to himself. I kept my promise. 1 year later, a full year passed. Adam's life had transformed. He had started a YouTube channel called Inspire English, where he shared motivational stories and lessons for beginners. People from around the world commented things like, "Your stories help me believe in myself. I finally feel like I can learn English too." Every message reminded him why he had started. He recorded videos late into the night, editing, narrating, encouraging others not to give up. His goal was no longer just to improve himself. It was to inspire others to rise from their own doubts. The full circle. One evening, while recording a new video, he stopped mid-sentence and looked at the camera with emotion. "If you're watching this," he said softly, "I want you to know, I was just like you. I failed, I struggled, I doubted myself. But I didn't stop, and that made all the difference." He paused and smiled. Don't waste your life waiting for the right time. The right time is now. Start small, start scared, but just start. He ended the video and sat quietly for a moment. Tears welled up in his eyes, not from sadness, but from gratitude. He looked around his little room, once a place of hopelessness, now a space filled with purpose. Then he whispered the final line of his story. The man who once learned English to change his life is now helping others do the same. And in that moment, Adam knew he hadn't just learned English. He had learned how to live.